What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the 3829 podcast. If you don't know by now, I am your host, Trey. Now, before we jump into it, make sure you hit that like, that comment, and that subscribe button. Now, today we are lucky enough to be joined by our co-host, Ice. So I'm going to let him holler at y'all one time before we jump into the episode.
What's going on, 3829 family? Did you miss me?
All right, y'all. So before we even jump into this episode, if y'all couldn't tell by the shirt that Ice was wearing, as y'all know, he always got a shirt for the occasion. Uh, We want to give a very special shout out to IU for taking down Ohio State in the Big Ten championship 13-10. No, we didn't break, the streak of them holding opponents scoreless, but it don't matter. We broke the streak of them winning, and that's the most important one. But as y'all know, we talk hoops over here on the 3829 podcast, and today we are going to be talking about another team from Indiana. We are going to be talking about the Indiana Pacers today, and basically their season so far. As y'all know, they did start off the season 18 or their first 18 games, they started off 2-16. Now in their past 5 games, they have been able to turn it around. They've gone 3-2, but some people would say that they haven't beat the, teams that are considered contenders yet this season. So Ice, what would you say on that? Obviously, we've beaten teams like the Wizards, the Bulls twice, the Hornets, and then the only team that you could really say, I guess, would be competing for a championship this season, possibly would be the Warriors. Would you agree with that?
Man, look, a win is a win is a win. All right, we got 82 games in this season. We already a little bit past 20. We about a little bit over a quarter of the season done. And I mean, at this point, man, you just here to get wins, right? You're here to string long wins. It don't matter who's in front of you. You play who's in front of you. You win what you can, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, it's like, yeah, you can say, well, these ain't the greatest teams. It's like, well, apparently we ain't got that great of a team now, do we?
Exactly.
But that's what I gotta say about that.
No, definitely hear what you're saying. But like I was saying, they beat the Bulls twice so far. They've beaten the Wizards. Um, the one team that they did beat was the Warriors. Now, both of the wins that we beat the Bulls during were part of a 6 game losing streak. They are currently 11th in the East. Like I said, we beat the Hornets. They're currently 12th in the East, and our win against them came during a 7th game losing streak. The Wizards are currently 15th in the East, and the Warriors are 8th in the West currently. But they also had many close losses to some really good teams that also make you, say they're not that far off. You lose. Well, first you go to double overtime with the Thunder, first game of the season. Then you lose by 2 to the Mavs on a missed game-winning 3 by Neesmith. And if you actually seen that play, it was like the perfect play. Ray J. Dennis missed it perfectly. That ball came off the rim like a bounce pass to Neesmith at the 3-point line, and the shot just didn't fall. But that's definitely a game that we could have won. Then you lose by 2 to the Bucks, where Giannis just hits a miraculous turnaround jumper that when I seen it leave his hands, I said, oh yeah, we'll take that shot. But it fell. You get what I'm saying? If he shoots that shot 100 more times, I think that he may make it 1 or 2 more times. Like, it was just a lucky shot. And I hate to sound like Paul George. It was a lucky shot. I was happy when he shot it. I definitely did not think it was going in, and it just happened to go in. And then we ended up losing by 2 to the Raptors a couple weeks ago on a game winner by Brandon Ingram. And I'm blaming Glorilla for that because this man was playing out of his body. A few weeks ago, he was playing. He played so bad. He played so bad that I had to report him to the FBI because I thought that he was in with the mafia scandal. And y'all think I'm joking, but I'm being dead serious. I seriously went online, got on that tip line,
Hey,
and reported Brandon Ingram.
brother, you gotta stay focused, all right?
I just
We
want to be real. That man, the
we ain't here to
Glorilla
talk
had that
about
man.
parlays, dog.
Listen, Glorilla had that man playing out of his body. Brandon Ingram is currently on my parlay ban list, and he's about to be on the FBI's most wanted list if he keep playing around. So obviously the Pacers are going to be without Tyrese Halliburton for the whole season. Now, obviously, he isn't playing, but his presence definitely hasn't been missed. He's been courtside at every single game, definitely making his presence felt. Then, obviously, we've seen if you ask me, it's basically a freak injury with Aaron Neesmith. With that knee injury, they reported that he'll be out for a month about 3 weeks ago, so he should be returning about 1 to 2 weeks. Obviously, Obi Toppin was ruled out, saying that he was going to be having some foot surgery and he would not be able to return until February. He only got the chance to appear in 3 games so far this season. Quentin Jackson has been out since early November. His status has been updated to day to day. He is a game time decision for Monday, but he only played in 5 games as well. Then he was a major part in our win against the Warriors. He ended up putting up 25 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 steals on 10 of 16 from the floor, 3 of 4 from three. Those are big numbers. You get what I'm saying? And obviously we have Nembhard, but that was a game that we didn't have Nembhard, and I feel like he did a good job of not only trying to fill in the role for Nembhard, but also fill in the role for Tyrese, because that 10 assists is big. That's definitely something that the Pacers struggle with, and I feel like in that game they did not struggle with the ball movement as much, and they just looked like a Pacers team that we were used to seeing in that game specifically. Then obviously, TJ McConnell is healthy now, but he definitely missed a major part of the season, only appearing in 13 games so far. Then Andrew Nembhard, also healthy now, but he missed a lot of games, only appearing in 15 games this season so far. And then Ben Mathurin, also healthy now, but he has missed a decent amount of time, only playing in 12 games this season. Now, Neesmith, Toppin, Mathurin, McConnell, and Nembhard, all those guys that I said have been dealing with those injury issues this season, none of them have all played in the same game yet this year. And if you know the Pacers, if you've seen them last year, you know how big that core group of guys is for us. You get what I'm saying? Now, luckily, we've only had Siakam miss 1 game, and that was just to some load management. You get what I'm saying? Not any injuries, and that is honestly a blessing, because that's the last thing that this team needs. But we have not got to see this team at even, obviously we know that full strength, we're not going to be full strength this season because Tyrese Halliburton is going to be out, but we haven't even been able to see a full strength version of this roster without Tyrese Halliburton. Obviously we knew we weren't going to have him coming into the season, but we expected that we would still be able to be successful because we thought everybody else would still be healthy, and we haven't had that. But I'll let you go
Nah,
ahead and get your.
absolutely. It's just like you said, man. We haven't been fully healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's been the main problem for the Pacers, and one of the reasons why they went on such a long losing streak is because night in and night out, you never knew, who was going to play. And so now, right, as you can see, with more players coming back, they're able to get more consistent performances. They're able to gel a little bit better, things like that. Getting some good bench production, right? Because that's what we was known for, having a good bench, right? 10 guys that go at you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not just 3 or 4, but all 10. And so, with we can get back to that play style, which should, string along some more wins for us.
No, definitely, definitely. Now, obviously, as we know, we have not got to see the team at full strength yet, and we know that they have not necessarily beaten any contenders yet this season. Would you say that it's too early or too late for them? Would you say it's too early to write off the season, or is it too late for them to get it turned around?
So the thing about the NBA, man, is you got to go out, you got to perform, you got to play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, the thing about trying to tank and do all this and that, it usually doesn't work out in your favor. Especially with this new rule where um any of the teams that fall out of the play in have a shot at the number 1 pick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so with that, it's like, um, man, as long as you ain't counted out, you got time to turn things around. But you got to execute, and you got to do it soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're in a heck of a hole, right? With obviously having 18 games lost on the season, only have won 5. But I mean, it's not too late to turn it around, and I think they can make a push, right? They're not that far away from some of those teams that have, you know, end up fighting for those play-in spots, especially since chemistry issues with a lot of those teams and a lot of, locker room drama and things like that going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's not too late. They can do something, and I think they should do something, right? You were just in the finals last year. Why try to tank and not compete? It's like that's not the nature of this team.
So you think even though that this draft class has been compared to the caliber of prospects that we were seeing in like 2003's draft class where we seen LeBron, Melo, D Wade, Darko Milicic. No, I'm just playing. um, but when we see those caliber of guys come into the league, they're comparing this draft class to that. And you don't think that the Pacers, while Tyrese is sitting out, and they probably don't have the biggest chance of postseason success. Not saying that they can't get there, but even if they do get there, it's unlikely that they will actually, end up making it to, the Eastern Conference Finals or the playoffs. You think that they should still go ahead and still give it their all this season?
Um, well, first off, there's no guarantees, right, when it comes to the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would love a top pick, but I mean it's too wild. You never know. You don't even know. You might get the 10th pick. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Right.
true, but with the way that the draft is set up, if they do end up being, the dead last worst or one of the worst teams in the league, usually, or not usually, they depending on where they fall, they will be protected from falling out of a certain range of picks.
Right. But I mean, shoot, it's like Dallas was 11th and got the number one pick. Statistically, they wasn't supposed to get it, but we know
Wasn't
that.
wasn't the Pelicans 14th when they got Zion at the number one pick? But weren't they expected to go like 13th or 14th?
Pretty sure they were 12. Yeah, they. So yeah, when they got the number one pick, they weren't dead. They weren't the dead worst team.
Yeah, obviously they still had Anthony Davis, even though he did have injury issues. They yeah, that was kind of like one of
Eh,
the deciding factors was that they had made such a big jump that it was like, okay, Zion is the projected guy.
Now, with both of those situations, we noticed something fishy was going on. We're gonna stay on topic.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they was just trying to get superstars to LA. In both cases, superstars went to LA and they got rewarded. The former teams got rewarded.
right. But
Or I
staying
wouldn't
on
say
topic.
that the Pelicans necessarily got rewarded. Or what's funny? How did Anthony Davis get involved in both of those deals?
You
and,
know, just the luck of the
and
draw.
and you know what? And somehow the Lakers didn't get the short end of the stick in either of those deals. Zion ended up on. He's most likely going to end up getting traded this year. They're saying that they're accepting the first reasonable offer for Zion over there on the Pelicans, and then we know Anthony Davis's injury history since arriving in Dallas. So it's just like, damn, both teams
Yeah.
got the short end of the deal.
Nah, but yeah, man. I mean, shoot, the whole tanking and all, man, that's lame, man. Come on, man, just compete. Now, if it just so happens that you still, you know what I'm saying, don't make it, okay, fine, but give it an effort, right? Don't just try to actively tank during the season because it's like it's like this team can still do some things. They can still, try to gel. Like this is valuable time for some of these guys that wasn't playing a lot to play together, gel together, learn. And that's what's most important, right?
Not definitely.
The whole we can't make it to uh Eastern Conference Finals and stuff like that. I mean, it'd be great, and but it's like, yeah, it's unrealistic, but you compete and play hard, and you try to get these guys some experience, and if we can do that, I think we walk away with this season gaining a whole lot more than we can imagine.
No, definitely. And I definitely agree with you on that because me personally, I've been flipping back and forth. Obviously, I've said off the pod a few times, I don't know if they should necessarily look to turn it around because, these prospects are highly touted. They're, supposed to be generational prospects coming in this draft class. But at the same time, I've also said that if we were to get one of those top guys, where do they necessarily fit into a Pacers roster, especially next year when everybody's fully healthy? You already have your starting lineup is already set in stone, especially next year when everybody comes back healthy. Tyrese Halliburton's gonna be your point guard of the future. You already have your two man next to him, Andrew Nimhart. You already have two guys that can run the three for you in Mathurin and Neesmith, which is the main position that's coming in this draft class with AJ DeBonsa and Darren Peterson. Then you have Pascal Siakam and Obi Toppin running a four. You don't really have a hole there. And there's not really a top guy at the center position. You know what I'm saying? Most of them are wing positions or Cam Boozer, but he's not a center. He's the power forward. So I definitely agree with you in saying that if they are able to, get it turned around, possibly make it to the play-in, or uh, get themselves solidified into like a 6-5 seed, make it out the first round, possibly make it, however far they can get, that would definitely do a lot better for them than just tanking this year. Obviously, we've seen a big jump in Nimhart this year. We've seen a jump in Mathurin this year. You know what I'm saying? Siakam's playing consistent. He's giving you everything that you could ask of him. You get what I'm saying? It's just the shots got to start falling. Um, I've seen that it looks like Ben Shepherd, he struggled earlier. It looks like he's starting to get it turned around. You know what I'm saying? He's not played perfect in every recent game, but it looks like his shots are falling at a more consistent rate than we had seen earlier in the season. And it's just things like that that matter the most. You go what I'm saying? Obviously, we don't have a Tyrese Halliburton, but Quentin Jackson coming back, I feel like is going to be big. We haven't we just been missing, that ball movement. TJ McConnell definitely is back. But I feel like as TJ McConnell gets older, I feel like Quentin Jackson can be a grittier version of TJ McConnell for the Pacers. You get what I'm saying? I love to call him Mini Lance. That's the first time I seen him step onto the court for the Pacers, and I'm not with my personal eyes last year. Uh, I said that's Mini Lance. I texted Pops. I know y'all seen Pops a couple episodes ago. I texted Pops. I'm like, that's Mini Lance right there. He didn't see it. By the end of the year, he's like, yeah, you right. That's Mini Lance. But I called it the first time I seen him. So getting a guy like that back is definitely gonna be big for the Pacers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Q Jack's been huge. You know what I'm saying? Really, I mean, he didn't get a lot of playing time last year. As more guys started to come back and be healthy, but yeah, that's a guy, man. He just got a motor on. You know what I'm saying? He is go go go. Full throttle. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm excited to get him back. He's got some athleticism. Really, what I'm saying? Guy can really play. Just needed an opportunity. And, like you said, right? Missing, that true point guard position. I'm not saying he can fully fill it, but we the more people we can get back, the more we can, develop and get better. And I mean, like I said, I hit on it, you hit on it, right? Experience.
Hmm.
Experience. That's what's needed, right? That's what helped Neesmith become more confident and be the player he was last year in the playoffs. Is what helps a lot of these guys step up and be better, right? Shep, you
Especially a
know,
guy like Nemhard. We've seen the big, moments that he's had in the playoffs. He's shown that he can step up.
right? And even Jarris Walker, right?
Hmm.
Playing a little bit better, getting better with his decision making on the court as well. So
Yeah, one thing I will say about Jarris Walker though, when he get that ball, you know exactly what he want to do with it. You know the second he touch that ball, if he want to pass it, if he wants to shoot it. Only time that you're wrong is if he's forced to pass it. Cause boy, there ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying. You could tell the second he get that ball, it's like, oh yeah, he about to shoot. Nope, he about to pass. You could tell. But no, we've definitely seen big jumps from guys. And then we also have to mention the fact that how many guys that we've seen come in and out of the rotation for us. You get what I'm saying? We seen Mac McClung a little bit. We had James Wiseman for a little bit. We've had Robinson Earl come in and play at an extended amount of time for us. We had Monte Morris come in. We've had so much change in the locker room. And the fact that we're still able to go out there and compete every night, which also attributes to the stretches where we're going 4 to 6 minutes without scoring and letting teams run away with the game. You get what I'm saying? It's because you having so much change. You get what I'm saying? You're not used to running with these guys. One day you may be playing with Brad Wanamaker. The next game, he's out and now you're playing with Monte Morris. You get what I'm saying? It's so hard to develop chemistry like that. So in those late close games, it's harder to win. You get what I'm saying? Versus playing teams where they are fully healthy. They have, been playing together for 2, 3 years now, if not longer. They have that chemistry. They know where that guy's gonna be at before he even gets there. And it's just little things like that that make it harder to, get back ahead while you're dealing with all of these things. All right, y'all, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the 3829 podcast. If y'all did enjoy it, make sure you hit that like, that comment, and that subscribe button. And be sure to share this with a friend that you think would enjoy the content. And I'm going to let Ice holler at y'all one more time before we get out of here.
thanks for tuning in, 3829 family. Go ahead, leave a like and subscribe and comment what you want to see next. Peace.